next 2-3 years are going to be more transformational and will change more than the last 50. And in that perfect storm of complete disruption to most of our consumer companies, we don't want these companies to be complacent. We want them to think like a startup. The title of our report is really to spur them on, to be like a startup, to think in a fresh way, to revisit. I think many companies are realizing that there's so many complexities going on. Our report promotes that and encourages companies to look at what the future holds, because things will change dramatically over the next 2-3 years.
Germany is a marketplace which is very attractive on the one side, but is also very mature and as such very competitive. We have in Germany quite a large basis of family-owned businesses which have been successful for many, many years, in particular in producing products, branded products. But they have to revisit their business model. They have to see what their customers are actually expecting from them in the next years. So I think from them to embrace change, for example, is a huge challenge, because they were very successful for many, many years. But have to see how the dynamics in the marketplace are actually changing and how they have to change as well.
German companies need to understand they need to move outside of Germany much more than ever before. And then they need to look at the global landscape and understand how to play in that global landscape.
I think German companies just began to challenge their own business model, just stepping out of their shoes and trying to see themselves in a different light. They just started, they're on their journey in becoming maybe a different company. But there's still a long way to go.
I think the German companies are incredibly well positioned. I think the German brand has been strong for decades and continues to be strong. Customer centricity is not new, but the focus is new. The thought of it is new. The way you look at everything you do is new. The new point of sale is the customer. Should have always been, but I think companies are now starting to realize that whatever they do, it has to have the customer in the middle. And that's simply what customer-centric means. So all processes, every way that consumer and retail companies look at, has to be with the eye on the customer. Without the customer, they're not alive as a business.
The concept of customer centricity will allow company to preserve their position in the marketplace, but also allow them to grow. In particular, with the customer also following in, because even if he should be in the middle of everything, but he's moving. And actually there's not only one customer, all the customers are different. So they have higher expectations, they have different needs. So we have to, I think, recognize every single customer, and that will require lots of change in the near future.
Many people talk about disruption, that we're in the midst of disruption. We're not in the midst of disruption, we are disrupted. And companies need to come to grips with the complexity and the complete transformation that's happening in the world of a consumer and retail. And when they do embrace that, when they do understand how to use analytics deep and wide, to use their data to make them wise, not just superficial analysis, when they do understand how to use digital to their benefit, when they do take the consumer and go further than they've gone before, when they take their systems and they make it customer-centric, so everything revolves around the customer, when they understand and react to what's happening globally from a geopolitical standpoint, from a macroeconomic standpoint, only then will they be able to face the future and be successful.